doing, I'm going to show you guys something. This is not going to be a real comfortable. Remember, do you guys remember the guy who came down? I didn't mean to hit that live button, but I did. So I was actually doing a couple other things here, but this isn't going to be real comfortable. What I'm about to reveal to you is going to be shocking, beyond shocking. Because you remember when I first got to town and I talked to those high school girls, and they talked about the cop in the bathroom patting down high school girls, and I had never heard of that before. I'd never heard of cops patting down girls in the high school to check them. I had never heard of that before. And so I began to really, every time I talked to someone, I just said, hey, tell me, do you know anything about the high school girls in the bathrooms? And I've spoken to several girls who have told me roundabout stories. And so today, I spoke to a confidential person who wishes to remain confidential. And what you're about to hear right now is her altered voice of what Jonathan Spuljarek has done, allegedly, to the confidential informant. And she lists 3 other girls that he also did it with. And then she also implicates another man named Adam Koch, a previous officer, who's now a long-haul trucker, and we're going to get into his story too. But I'm just going to let you guys listen to this audio, and I'm going to beg the high school superintendent, I don't know if you were involved in that slander against me, libel, but now it's time for you to do your job. Get those cops out of your school. Listen to how the cops were set up, groomed this woman, and then ultimately
I heard I started arguing, and then I asked for Officer Spuljarek, because I knew Officer Spuljarek and Jonathan.
So can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Did you know him? You were 19 at the time. Did you know him when you were in high school?
Yes.
And I'm going to ask you some hard questions here, but I need you to be truthful with me, okay? Had you had any kind of relationship with Spuljarek when you were in high school?
Yes. And I met him in
How old were you?
You met him in middle school. And so what kind of relationship did you have with him when you were in junior high and high school?
At first it started out just like talking on the phone and texting. But then it progressed.
It started off just texting. Why are you texting a junior high school girl? When girls add me on Facebook or try to follow my Instagram and I look at their picture and they send me a text message, I simply don't reply. It's not appropriate. No matter what I say to that girl about history or the law or the Constitution, if a girl texts me and she looks like she's in high school or junior high school, I just don't even reply. Especially if I can see her face, especially if I know her because I'm the cop in the junior high school. I don't start texting girls who are in junior high school.
How old were you in junior? So you started texting back and forth in junior high school, and then when did it turn into something more?
I was a junior in high school, and I was going to college. I was actually in forensic science and law enforcement. Okay, I was a junior in high school.
Okay.
And then we've texted on and off since then, but I didn't know at the time that he had a wife. So whenever...
Can you tell me what happened when you were a junior in high school? And I know...
And then we've texted on and off since then, but I didn't know at the time that he had a wife. So whenever...
Can you tell me what happened when you were a junior in high school? And I know this is hard to talk about, but I need you to tell me.
We had texted a lot, and then him and I sat down at Boomers and got a drink one night.
You were a junior in high school at that time?
Yes.
And when you hung out that night, what happened?
I slept with him the night that I hung out with him. I slept with him the night that I hung out with him.
When you were 17 or 16 years old?
Yes.
And then did you know that there were other girls involved with him as well that were in the high school?
Yes. I knew that he was like super flirty. Him and another cop were both very super flirty with me whenever I was a kid.
Well, you ended up sleeping with Spoljaric when you were a junior, and then how long did that sexual relationship last?
Not long. I found out that he had a wife after that, and so I stopped talking to him. But every once in a while, he would like message me and ask me how I was doing.
How many times did you have sex with Spoljaric?
Just the one time, because I found out he was married.
Okay, so did you think that you were starting a relationship with him?
I did at the time, yeah.
Mhm. And then, what other girls did he date in the high school besides you?
I know for sure that he was with another girl that I went to school.
And do you know how long he was in a relationship with?
He was seeing her for a few weeks, maybe maybe 2 months.
But how old is what's his first name again?
Jonathan.
Jonathan Spoljaric, that's his name? And so he's having a relationship. He's having a relationship with her as well.
Yes.
Okay. And so now you know about that. Who was the other cop that was involved with high school girls?
Okay. So I'm not playing you guys all of the audio. This was a long conversation. He was involved. The way that she finds out that Spoljaric is involved with another high school girl is she confides in the other high school girl, and the high school girl says to her, "Me too."
Yes.
Okay. And so now you know about that. Who was the other cop that was involved with high school girls?
There was another guy named Adam Koch, but he's not a police officer anymore.
Adam, C-O-X?
K-O-C-H.
Okay.
So Adam.
Now, so we then investigated Adam Koch, K-O-C-H. And what we found was that one day, Adam Koch, and take a look at the picture. Let me show you the picture of Adam Koch. Here's the picture in the Ironton Tribune. He's surrounded by little girls because he's texting them and their children. And one little boy, that's Adam Koch, K-O-C-H. And then you read the article about Adam. He immediately resigns. So I asked the informant, when he resigned, did he plan it out and it was the summer? Or did he resign one day you went to school in junior high school and the next day Adam wasn't there? And she said, I went to school one day and he wasn't there anymore and I didn't understand where he went. So it says longtime police officer Adam Koch, after 5 years, is turning in his badge to be a long haul trucker? Who knew? Who knew? Who found out about Adam and swept it under the rug. Another report says that Adam Koch was fired. Who knew? Who fired him, and why was Adam fired? This is why police records of discipline have to be public, but we're going to change the whole thing. It's going to be called transparency. I don't want to get too off track here.
Koch was also involved with some high school girls. What girls was he involved with?
I just know that there were several people that talked about it, and he had made advances towards me, because I used to have to eat lunch with him and Jonathan.
Why did you have to have lunch with Officer Koch and Jonathan?
Because I was a troubled kid. I had behavioral issues whenever I was in school, in middle school, so I had to eat up on the stage.
You had to eat up on a stage, so everybody could watch you.
Yeah.
Why are you segregating high school girls with full-grown men in their 20s and 30s? With any age. Why are you segregating high school girls to be alone with men? Isolating her. She's already a troubled child. And then you isolate her with police. If we haven't found out, they're not the best people.
And so the cops are up on the stage, and how many girls are up there?
There was just me, usually, but sometimes there was other girls that came up there and sat with us.
Like, what are their names?
Was one of them.
Yeah.
There was another girl named.
Another girl. Another girl.
Yeah, that's the only girls that I remember, but yeah, those two were the main ones.
And then, let me ask you, I'm going to look in my notes here just real quick, just give me 5 seconds. But there was another girl who I was informed about, and I just wondered if you ever heard of. You ever hear of her?
Yes, she was a year younger than me in high school. I think I remember hearing in high school that she had a relationship with Jonathan too.
Mhm.
Because she was younger than me.
So she was a year younger than you.
15.
So
15.
And then, now that you remember, now that you're starting to think about names in your head, is your brain starting to pull up some other names?
You have reached the Suspect Office of the FBI. These calls may be recorded. If you are calling to report a bank robbery or kidnapping,
I called the FBI.
There's a record of us reporting.
You are a law enforcement officer.
So I just kept digging, and then today I got a girl on the phone named.
Will you hand me that piece of paper with Jonathan's Snapchat on it, please? It's J something. It's got just a funny little code on it. It's over there somewhere. So I called the FBI, and how do you guys think that went? Take a pull real quick while I put my arm down and drink some water because, yes. Are any of you you young people texting this Snapchat address? Who's Snapchatting JBug556? Are any junior high school or high school girls or boys Snapchatting with JBug556? If you are, will you please contact me? And when you contact me, by the way, not only will the call be recorded, but there'll be someone sitting with me because it's inappropriate. But I think either call me immediately or contact your parents. If you are Snapchatting with JBug556, this is how he communicates with junior high school and high school girls. This is through Snapchat. Right there. Can you please contact me? I'd like to talk to you. Have you sent inappropriate pictures back and forth with JBug556? I think it's super important. I got to get some water. My mouth's dry because this is super intense. So now what I'm going to play for you is how the FBI handled being told that I know of at least 4 high school girls that at least one cop is confirmed who's being involved with, and I know for a fact that there's more. So how do you think the FBI call went? How do you guys think it went? It didn't go good. I just want to make sure there's nothing on my computer that could give away a confidential informant.
And then after about 5 minutes, we got into it, and then she told me that 2 police officers, one Adam Koch and the other Jonathan Spoljaric, both were grooming her in middle school, and then she slept, had sex with Jonathan Spoljaric when she was a junior in high school. And then I asked her who else she told.
Okay.
I have a list.
Who, and that's the that told you that?
Yes.
And did they ever report this?
No. She has told her and 5 other people about the sexual relationship.
Okay, spell her last name?
Years old. I don't know her date of birth.
Telephone number?
I don't know her.
Address?
I don't know her address. Ironton, Ohio. Ma'am, listen, I gotta tell you something. I gotta say something.
She told you that she told you that one officer was grooming her when she was in middle school?
Yes. Adam Koch, who then we investigated Koch, and there's a write-up in the Ironton Tribune, and I asked about it. One day he just wasn't at school anymore. And so then I read the Ironton Tribune where it said, we're losing one of our officers. He's becoming a long-haul trucker.
And was he an officer at the time?
Yeah, in the school. He was placed in the school. I don't know why male officers are anywhere around females.
Okay. Can you please tell me? I need you to spell his last name, the correct spelling of his last name.
Adam Koch, Koch. But the thing is the reason I'm calling you is this information that I can't get, because I'm a journalist. I record everything, and I'm going to expose this. I will expose this. But I have Jonathan Spoljaric's Snapchat, and what he told me is that he communicates with the high school girls through his Snapchat account. Meaning there's a record of this, but I can't get it, but you can. That's why I called you. And just so you know, the entire government in southern Ohio is corrupt, from the county commissioners all the way down to the...
Are you from that area?
I just told you for the 5th time. I'm an investigative journalist investigating
Okay, and I'm
Orange
asking
County.
you, are you
from
that
I'll
area?
tell you again if you'd ask me again. I'll tell you a 4th time if you like. I'm getting sick of this. I'm telling you where to look, and you're running me around.
Sir.
My calls are recorded. I'm going to expose
Okay, sir, I don't wish to be recorded. If you're going to be rude, I'm going to terminate the call.
You don't care about child molestation? Okay. Terminate the call. Do what you got to do. Sorry, your ego, so they don't care about the kid.
Told you this happened in middle school. What was the name of the middle school?
Ironton Middle School.
And when did she tell you this?
Today. I recorded the call. All my calls are recorded. I'm an investigative journalist.
And he was grooming her in middle school. He was an officer for what department?
For the Lawrence County Sheriff's Department. Lawrence County Sheriff's Department. I looked up who the superintendent then was, the superintendent of schools, and I'm trying to figure out who the principal was. I believe...
And she didn't report that whenever it happened?
No, she's a junior high school kid. Jonathan Spoljaric.
And I need you to spell that name.
Spoljeric. First name Jonathan, Jonathan.
Okay. And that is Spoljeric?
That's right.
And do you have how old he is and his date of birth?
No.
Okay. Okay, and then back with, you said that slept with Jonathan in high school? When she was in high school?
We groomed her for 5 years, and then she slept with him when she was a junior. He met her when she was in 7th grade. 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. There are other girls.
Okay. So at this time, let me go ahead and get your address.
Wait a minute. Don't you want Jay Spoljaric's Snapchat account?
Okay, I'm working on that.
Hey, don't you want his Snapchat account?
Sir, I'm working on that. I need to go ahead and get your address.
You were ready to terminate the call over your ego being hurt when I'm telling you about women being molested in high school. And you call me sir now?
I need to get your address right now. Would you like to provide your address?
Ladies. I'm not giving you my address.
So, at this time, this is enough information. Okay.
Yeah.
This is enough information right now. If anybody needs to reach out to you, they can and do so.
You want his Snapchat account?
Thank you for calling the FBI and have a good day.
Do you want his Snap?
It didn't go good. We told the FBI. So listen, I'm going to jump. I have actually more work to do. So you guys, this has to be stopped. You got to get the cops out of your schools. You give someone absolute power and they abuse it. There's no other way to see it. I'm actually going to, I have some work I have to do. I'm sorry. I wish I could stay and talk to you guys, and I will talk to you guys soon. God bless the victims. And I just hate to tell you guys this, the officials who are corrupt, we don't stop, and we're not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. I won't stop until this is over, and we don't stop. Love you guys. See ya. Later.